Before you head back to campus, we want to remind you of some things related to Google Classroom so that you'll be ready to use it as effectively as possible and as soon as possible. If you are new to GISD, you'll be glad to know that we use a program called Little SIS, which runs in the background where you'll never actually see it. But Little SIS does several really important things for you. Little SIS creates a new Google Classroom for each Skyward class for which you are the teacher of record. It also syncs with Skyward schedule changes to move students in and out of Google Classrooms automatically. A couple of things to be looking for. You may receive an email from Little SIS when your classes are archived. You also may get a system automated email notice to accept your Google Classrooms. Please accept them. Even if there is a crazy chance that you might not use them right away, you will want them included in the sync process so that you can use them when you're ready. The best way to see and accept your Google Classrooms is to access them from the app's dashboard. If you open Google Classroom before school starts, you may see that your classes that you used earlier have been archived. They are not deleted. You can come to Google Classroom, come to the upper left corner, and come all the way down this column and see archived classes. So anything that you used prior to the sync process this summer will be in your list of archived classes. Remember, however, that you do not have to unarchive a class to reuse posts from them, so think twice before you unarchive a class. When you do unarchive, you activate that class, and the students who are in that class will once again have access to all the posts and material that you shared with them there. So give that some thought before you choose to unarchive. Even though Little SIS will sync with Skyward before school starts, your newly created classrooms may not be visible until the actual first day of class, as designated in Skyward. It is also possible that you will see the Accept button before students are actually synced. Notice in this first example that students have not been synced yet because there are 0 students. In this example on the right, 24 students are already loaded in this classroom. So if you're looking at this before the school year begins and you accept these classes, just know that the things that you build, assignments that you prepare, you will either want to save them as drafts or you will want to schedule those assignments to post after the school year begins because your students will be able to see them. Something we learned since our first sync is that if you are opening Google Classroom through this Share to Classroom extension that you will find across your top toolbar, you will not find the classrooms that are waiting to be accepted there. Once you have accepted your synced classes, there is a way to open the list from this extension, but for some reason, they don't show up here until they are accepted. So again, the best way to access your Google Classrooms is to go through the app's dashboard. If you work with a group of students who are not in an official Skyward class, you can still create a new Google Classroom for that group of students and manage it yourself. An example of this might be an organization you sponsor or a tutoring group you work with that is not officially a Skyward class. A couple of other items of interest. Your Google Classrooms will sync schedule changes with Skyward overnight. So if a student has a schedule change Monday morning, that student will still appear in the roster of your Google Classroom until the overnight process runs, and the next day that roster sync will be updated. The automatic archiving of classrooms will only occur at the year end, which is typically late July, so things should remain the same after the initial sync right before the beginning of the school year. Once you get back on campus and begin to use Google Classroom, we will be available to answer any questions, and as always, feel free to call or email the Technology Department Help Desk at extension 4125.